There is a time for everything, and a season for every activity under the heavens. These words, written thousands of years ago by the wise King Solomon, echo through the ages, reminding us of the rhythms of life. They speak of a divine order, a sacred timing that governs our existence. But what does it mean for us today? How do we navigate the ever-changing seasons of our lives, especially when some seasons feel endless and others pass by in the blink of an eye? Life is a tapestry of moments, woven together by joy and sorrow, triumph and failure, beginnings and endings. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1-8 lays it out plainly. There is a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to uproot, a time to weep and a time to laugh. These verses are not just poetry. They are a profound truth about the human experience. They remind us that life is not static. It is fluid, ever-moving, and often unpredictable. But here's the challenge. We don't get to control the seasons. We don't get to decide when the sun will rise or when the rain will fall. We don't get to choose when we will laugh or when we will weep. And that lack of control can leave us feeling helpless, anxious, or even angry. We ask questions like, why is this happening to me? Why now? How long will this season last? The beauty of Ecclesiastes is that it doesn't shy away from the hard truths. It acknowledges the pain, the confusion, and the futility we often feel. But it also points us to something greater, sovereign God, who is in control of every season. When we feel lost in the chaos, we can take comfort in knowing that there is a purpose behind every season. Even if we can't see it yet, think about it. Winter may feel barren and lifeless, but it's necessary for the earth to rest and prepare for spring. In the same way, the difficult seasons of our lives, the times of waiting, grieving, or struggling, are not wasted. They are shaping us, refining us, and preparing us for what's to come. So how do we live well in every season? First, we must learn to embrace the present. It's easy to dwell on the past or worry about the future. But true peace comes when we accept where we are right now. This doesn't mean we ignore our pain or pretend everything is fine. It means we trust that God is with us in this moment, and He is working all things together for our good. Second, we must cultivate gratitude. Even in the hardest seasons, there are blessings to be found: a kind word from a friend, a moment of beauty in nature, the strength to keep going. Gratitude shifts our focus from what we lack to what we have, and it reminds us that no season lasts forever. Finally, we must hold on to hope. Ecclesiastes tells us that God has set eternity in our hearts. Deep down, we know that this world is not our final home. The struggles we face are temporary, but the joy that awaits us is eternal, so we press on. Not because we have all the answers, but because we know the one who does. There is a time for everything. These words are not just a reflection on life. They are an invitation to trust that God is in control, even when life feels out of control. To trust that every season has a purpose, even when we can't see it, and to trust that, in the end, all will be made right. So wherever you are today, whether you're in a season of joy or sorrow, abundance or lack, beginnings or endings, remember this. You are not alone. God is with you, and He is working in ways you cannot yet imagine. Embrace the season you're in, hold on to hope, and trust that the best is yet to come. To everything there is a season, and a time for every purpose under heaven. These words from Ecclesiastes chapter 3, chapter 1 remind us that life is a series of seasons, each with its own purpose, its own beauty, and its own challenges. But what happens when you're stuck in the in-between? When the season you're in feels endless, and the season you're waiting for seems like it will never come. What do you do when you're waiting on your season? Waiting is one of the hardest things we'll ever do. It's uncomfortable. It's uncertain, and if we're honest, it can feel like God has forgotten us. But what if I told you that the waiting season is not a punishment? What if I told you it's not a waste of time, but a sacred space where God is preparing you for what's next? The truth is, waiting is a part of life. We wait for dreams to come true, for prayers to be answered, for relationships to heal, for opportunities to arise. But waiting doesn't mean doing nothing. It doesn't mean sitting idly by, twiddling our thumbs and hoping for the best. Biblical waiting is active, it's expectant, it's rooted in faith. Think about the great men and women of the Bible. Abraham waited 25 years for the son God promised him. Joseph waited in a prison cell for his destiny to unfold. David waited years to become king, even after he was anointed. And what did they do in the waiting? They trusted God, they grew in character, they prepared for what was coming. In the waiting, God is doing something in you that He can't do through you. He's refining your character. He's strengthening your faith. He's teaching you to depend on Him. The waiting season is where you learn to say, "And not my will, but yours be done." It's where you discover that God's timing is perfect, even when it doesn't align with your plans. But let's be real, waiting is hard. It's easy to feel overlooked, forgotten, or even abandoned. You look around and see others moving forward, achieving their dreams, and living their best lives. And you wonder, when will it be my turn? In those moments, it's important to remember that comparison is the thief of joy. Your season is not their season, and their season is not yours. God has a unique plan for your life, and He's working behind the scenes, even when you can't see it. Your season is coming. It may not look like what you expected, and it may not come when you wanted it to, but it will come, and when it does, you'll look back and realize that the waiting was worth it. You'll see how God was preparing you, shaping you, and positioning you for what He had in store. So if you're waiting on your season today, don't lose heart, don't give up. Keep trusting, keep hoping, keep believing, because God is faithful, and He will fulfill His promises in your life. Your season is not late, it's right on time.